You know, we're always interested in folks that have struggled. We're always interested to know what was that like back there when things got really tough. Can you share a little bit about your life when it was not so great? In fact, it was pretty crummy.
I sure can. Real short version. I grew up in the church. My father was a minister. I was the traditional pastor's kid. We had to be on all the time. You know, there was a lot of pressure being put on us, myself and my sisters. And my dad did real well in his role as a minister, but behind closed doors, it was a whole different story.
Mm.
He had his demons he was dealing with, and he essentially took it out on us. I had very little relationship with him at all throughout my youth and my young adult life. And as a result, you know, I was missing a lot of things. I mean, I didn't have a relationship with the Lord. You know, I was in a mainline denomination, didn't know anything about, you know, being born again, saved, or the love, grace, mercy, and grace and mercy of God. I didn't know anything about that. So I was searching. I had a major void in my life. The party welcomes everybody. I ended up working as a young adult, working for a gentleman who owned a business. I worked at his business, and he happened to be the biggest cocaine dealer on the East Coast.
Whoa.
And I got sucked up into the drug world because I had no self-discipline, no self-control, and I was just searching, you know, for some, you know, to belong, to be accepted, to you know, have you know, that was my identity. I was just looking, and I just joined the party, and the party lasted for many years, and I ended up in the pit of hell during this time.
Hmm.
And I, you know, I don't have time. I do share my story in the book, though.
Yeah.
But
How'd you get
but
out
the
of that? What was the breaking point where you found a different way?
Well, in 1985, unbeknownst to me, the Lord, and this is what people don't understand, is that the Lord's hand is on us, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
We have no clue, no clue. And it was in 1985, and His hand was on me, and I know He had me prepared for even this. I didn't know that at the time, but I realized that I was either going to end up dead or I better do something. I better make a change. And I did. I got out of that lifestyle, but I was still miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And I had so much pain in my life as a result of the trauma because I hadn't dealt with it. And it was 1985 that I got clean, I got sober, but my life, I was still searching. There was something missing. And believe it or not, the one man that was missing in my life was my dad, and he was dying in the hospital, and the Lord brought me to his bedside, and I stood there as his son, and I saw him dying, and it impacted me so that the pain level, that was the breaking point.
Hmm.
Whereas I just couldn't take it anymore. I
Yeah.
couldn't take it anymore. And it's interesting how He brought me to the bedside of the one man that all I wanted was his love and nurturing and encouragement and support, and to hear him say, you know, that he was proud of me, and I was going to lose him. And that very next day, I didn't have anybody guide me. I didn't have anybody leading me. But quick rewind real quick. My mother had given me a daily word subscription, and I had been consuming that. And that's all I had. Didn't have a Bible. Didn't have any church. But the very next day, after the hospital experience, I got on my face and I cried for over an hour, and I just said, Lord, come in, God, if you're there, if you are who I've been reading about in this little daily word, if that's you, then you have to come in and set me free, because I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And He did. And my life has not been the same
Hmm.
since. When I got up after that hour, I was a completely different person.
Wow.